the moon has just entered Cancer and it's about to get ready to form a full moon. Now, this full moon is set to be historic, especially for the Los Angeles area, and I'll get into that just now. But if your zodiac sign is Aries, or if you have placements in Aries or Capricorn, any placements in Capricorn, this full moon is almost positively set to activate you. Now, what do I mean by activation? It means you're going to feel it. Full moons tend to amplify emotions and amplify feelings of completion and letting go. Essentially, you're carrying too much on you. The full moons have traditionally been referred to as lunacy and mania. These are all terms used to describe a full moon effect, which is heightened emotions and a lot of pressure that we're keeping inside of us. Now, this one in particular is going to be a little bit stronger because it is in Cancer. While she's in her home sign and she does well in Cancer, she likes being here, she's also having a full moon that is going to amplify everybody's emotions. And what is giving this a major driving force is that she's going to be so close to a Mars retrograde. Now, Mars rules over Aries, and it's also the ruler of aggression, frustration, blaze, and frenzy when it's uncomfortable. And the truth is, Mars is very uncomfortable in the Cancer zodiac sign. And to add to it, he is in retrograde motion, which is he's not going forward. He is, spiritually speaking, with his arms behind his back. So Mars is incredibly agitated, and we are going to see that reflected in throughout our emotions, where we feel like our hands are tied behind our backs and we can't exactly do the things we need to do for ourselves. Instead, we have to find ways to calm and soothe the waters, our internal waters, our emotions, our feelings. This is universal to everybody, but the signs that are going to feel these spikes the most, hands down, is going to be Aries, because Aries, this full moon is squaring you, and your ruler is also in Cancer squaring you. It's not a fun time. It is very much like you do not have access to yourself and you cannot express yourself fully. So it is set to be an uncomfortable period. For Capricorns, it's opposition, it's testing. It is, are you going to do this? How are you going to do this? It's questioning your sense of self, and it's going to force you to come into, how do I feel? When typically Capricorn, you don't really care about the emotions or the feelings behind your plans. Your plans are your plans, and that's it, non-negotiables. However, this full moon is stopping you in your tracks to pay attention to the feelings and emotions. And if it's not the full moon, it's going to be the people around you that are pulling you down, tugging you down, asking you, how do you feel? Give us something, give us a feeling. Water medicine is what's needed right now. There isn't anything specific or detailed enough that you can do to work through it or not feel it. You have to soothe the emotions and the feelings that come up. So what I want you to consider is how you can self-soothe in healthy ways. This is spending time in the water if you can, in the ocean, in your bathtub, drinking water, staying replenished, staying hydrated, breathing, deep breathing. Just when something is hitting you, you're just taking that deep breath to collect yourself and train yourself that it is okay to live that moment. For as comfortable as it is, you will survive that moment. And let's get into Los Angeles, because unfortunately, this full moon is really agitating LA. And outside of what's currently happening, I normally wouldn't make this a big deal. I would just say, like, there's some changes coming up for LA. But considering that Los Angeles is already activated and it is not done, okay, what's happening in LA has not closed out. It's still open. It's contained, but it's still open. This full moon, I'm going to put a chart of it right here. This full moon is agitating Los Angeles in a way that is too aggressive. We have Los Angeles being an Aries stellium, okay? And we also have Los Angeles having the moon in Capricorn. So those are the two signs that I mentioned in this video. Los Angeles contains this frequency. Los Angeles also has Mars in Cancer. So LA is going through a Mars return as it's going through this wildfire frenzy. It is a rebuilding that's coming in 100% for sure. But what this full moon is going to do, it can be either way. It could be really good or really not so great. It could be the introduction of water because LA is parched. It could be that we get access to water, and it could be that something more is unearthed from what just happened. So pipes underneath, structures underneath that are giving their last like because of the destruction and whatnot. So I would love to be able to say exactly what this is, but in these high end situations, I don't want to be God. I don't want to play predictions. What I will say is that this is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for Los Angeles. And I am praying for Los Angeles day and night. Because while a part of me understands that there's cycles and that we have to evolve, and maybe it's just LA's time to rebirth, I also understand that it's not easy and it displaces a lot of people and it causes a lot of grief. And because of that, I am sending out my love and heart and empathy to everybody in Los Angeles that is deeply affected by what's currently happening. So be nice to yourselves, especially if you have any karmic placements in Cancer. So Chiron, Saturn, and South Node, if you have any karmic placements, hang tight because this too will pass.